Oof. What's up, guys? Oh man, it's gonna make me do the thing. Sometimes restream is a real fucking goober. Restream's being a little goofy. All right, never mind. It's all good. Just gonna do this. Stop. Ooh, yikes. I'll play chess on the mining pie. You should. Knowing how to play chess makes you a better person. I might indulge in some chess. So one issue I've had with Graphene OS, I don't know if it's a Graphene OS issue, is there's a so the main camera app, I have an external microphone if I'm going to record videos, because it's a little bit better, and then it's a little bit better, and it's a little bit I don't have to like shout as much, but my huge brain kicked in, and I was like, I have a DSLR. I'll just use my I mean, I gotta wait for my laptop to get my laptop, and more content will come out. It's just I have a setup in the works, and I think I found some video editing software that I don't completely fucking hate, because there's some that I hate, like, pretty bad. Some is like good, some is bad. I just don't want to use Adobe. I hate Adobe, like I really do. Adobe sucks. I don't like the idea of a subscription model. In all honesty, I think it's pretty fucking awful. And I miss just being able to buy licenses. I know that sounds crazy, and not everyone can do that, but companies should give us both options. For the people that don't want... Oh, God. Oh, man. Oh, man. This is not good. I need to get someone with Death Touch out. So... the big problem is Adobe used to be able to buy and keep. Damn. And now you can't. You're kind of fucked. Ooh. And because Adobe makes it so impossible to quite literally... I could kill him. Yeah, he's gonna have first strike, so it doesn't matter. Because you don't have, like, the option to buy these licenses, you're in debt to these companies for, like, ever. And quite literally... they say, like, oh, it's just subscription, just cancel it. It's not that easy to cancel. They have, like, these crazy agreements that we need. Also, they constantly know your fucking card information. Keep that in mind. No, 14. Okay. Man, this guy sucks. All these birds. Ugh. Wait, whenever you gain... yeah, we're gonna do it that one. Damn, I'm not getting shit. Might be good. Nope. Oh, yeah, I lost. Even, yeah, I lost. Damn, should have not played him. Kind of made it oopsie. I should have kept him alive, but whatever. I digress. Computer crash, haha, don't watch the honeypot while mining Monero. Yeah, it's actually kind of fun. I can't play Doom and stream at the same time. I don't know if it's fixed by now, and I've thought about trying it because I like playing Doom. You know what? In VoidLinux, I can't mine. I don't know why. I have to do it in a virtual machine. So I just mine in a virtual machine while I'm not here. I don't know what the issue is. I've tried to figure it out. I think it's... I forget what the problem was, but... I think it'd just be in the best interest to just... oh, hey. Look, my Pi accepted a share. Nice. I think people don't realize that, like, look, like, I understand, like, the problem people have with Monero, the fact that it's not, quote-unquote, profitable to mine. I get it, but that's gonna just ruin it. Look at what happened to Ethereum. Look what all these coins that want to go to these insane proofs that might degrade and hurt the inherent privacy and the nature of Monero is the problem. And say, even if it's a small amount, let's say, hypothetically, it's a small amount of Monero that you're getting every year. Why not just treat it like Bitcoin? At one point, I'm going to try to stay away from the price. I don't like people that just talk about price, because I think it's kind of bad to a certain degree. Because that's all Bitcoin maxis do, and they're really, really cringe. I do not like Bitcoin. I don't mean, like, as a Monero maxi, I don't like Bitcoin maxis for the simple fact that they quite literally only give a shit that it goes up. They don't care that it gets integrated, redoing a mining this time with 2 threads instead of 4. Don't you only have 2 threads? Bitcoin maxis are like, I don't care that the government wants to do a Bitcoin reserve. I don't care that the government wants to buy up crypto and make it a backed American currency. I don't care that all these KYC wallets, like, they've literally lost the plot. They're just a bunch of fucking retard boomers or Gen Xers that discovered crypto like 5 years ago, and they're just retarded. The amount of morons that I see with Coinbase on their that I interact with that have Coinbase, or they're looking to buy pump.com penis retard coin, just shows how much IQ points society has lost. The last thing I want to do is make all this money and then commit some quote-unquote crime, and then quite literally either pay a shit ton of taxes or go to federal prison. Who wouldn't call, without the 4x core, be called the... What if the X4 is just the amount of times that they attempted to have sex with your wife? You ever think about that one? No. That is a possibility. But, you know, I digress. So I have a kind of a desire to go on like XMR Bazaar and sell stuff for Monero, but I don't know. I want to. Do you think I ever had a wife? Yeah, you're right. You use Gen 2. You don't have time for a wife. I wonder if there's any gun shows that accept Monero. That's the ones where you can just go do like swaps, like meetups, where people just like sell their firearms and shit. Jay's actually the only one with a wife now I think about it, but that's because Jay's retarded, and he decided to have a loving wife. What a good... See, I just need to meet an open source woman. That'd be kind of based. Oh, hell yeah. Probably took something less cool, but getting rid of that dragon. I like browsing through Pi apps, and there's a program named RustDesk, which is allegedly better than... Yes, Rust Deck is pretty cool. Yeah, I like doing the same. I like going through GitHub repository. Sometimes I'll be like out in public and I'll be like just looking at GitHub repositories, and they'll be like, people will try to talk to me. I'm like, I'm looking at GitHub repositories. Please stop. Please stop trying to talk to me. I'm looking at GitHub repos. I didn't come outside to talk to people. I came outside to see what the top repo is. I knew why I sneezed. Someone was talking shit on me. I wasn't talking shit. I said you had a wife and a loving family, Jed Cooper. And you sneezed is because you do cocaine. I'm gonna debate him. Which one are you gonna block? Aha! You fool! Someone talking about you? Or you're alert, you have an allergy. It could be dust. I do want to say, as a person though, speaking of dust, as a person who's never really had AC in their life, when I go to hotels and they have AC, I'm like, this is amazing. This needs to be everywhere. Sneeze twice, someone's talking shit. I don't think that's real, man. I think you need to... Okay, then what if somebody's just a chronic sneezer? Allergy season comes into effect. I have The Shining, the movie. I've never seen The Shining all the way through. Gonna be honest. Real talk. Dust, rust, bust, just lust. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I've never had a need for like VNC, like Rust, like Team, like any of the remote desktop shit. Never had to use it. Oh, they are fucked. Who's fucked? Oh, people that have like allergies. I forget there's a delay. Oh, I have a pack. Oh, I'll open it later. See, guys, you're not only learning about privacy and security, you're also learning how to play Magic the Gathering. Take this as a double W. Eventually, you'll watch so much Magic the Gathering content and listen to me rant into the void and come up with ideas. I have allergies, I'm fucked. RIP. That you will know how to play Magic without ever having to touch a deck. You could bring up to your friends. Ah, yes, I know the goblin, the ultimate goblin, glizzy goblin fuck move, and they'll be impressed. Women will want you to impregnate them immediately. We should. There's a decentralized GitHub like esque type of. It's like decentralized repositories. I want to check out. We should look up GitHub, random GitHub applications that we can find. Be awesome. Stock OS Google and Microsoft had a baby. Well, stock OS is Android. Stock Android isn't stock Google. I mean, Android is quite literally reskinned all the time. So, like, if you use OnePlus Oxygen OS, women will impregnate you in public if you go to a coffee shop and tell one of them. True. You should. God damn, man. This guy's a fucking loser. Yeah, you should go to a coffee shop and utter those exact words. They'll be like, it's all AI. Yeah, I mean, that's... My thing is, it's not Google. It's not Google. It's just stock Android. And because if it was all that, then Graphene OS would be affected by it. That's why vanilla Android OS isn't really... no tech. So vanilla Android OS at its bare bones. This is why people like Waydroid, because it's like stock. It's literally stock, and it's like not stock Android. It's like it's just Android. Android in its most native form doesn't have anything. There's a lot of stuff that's not there by default. This is why you get different Android experiences on different phone vendors, because they can skin it how they want. Android is customizable for that reason. Nice. No attacks. So that's what makes Graphene OS so valuable, because it quite literally removes a lot of that. Oh my god, what this fucking guy. This fucking loser. Why this card? Whatever. Android in itself is... That's what gives Android its... Oh, damn it. He's about to lose. He knew. The bitch knew, man. I wouldn't use stock Android for a lot of reasons, though. Not just the Google. Just needs single and people who have no live devs. Nah, they have lives. I mean, they get paid. And you can work remote in that industry, so like you probably get more. You get more of a life. But their requirements for their requirements are pretty, for maintaining is pretty high, pretty strict. You can't be a dummy, which is a good thing. I will say that that I'm not aware of. They probably have like core devs, like main developers, and then computer guys again. Remember to never mime an arrow while watching Honeypot. Not even a single thread. Have you tried a single thread? That's the real question. So like, ooh, just need the fucking mana. So like it's I know. I don't think Daniel McKay works on it anymore. He might. He's just not at the top. Honeypot is watching you. True. Even when I'm not going live, when I say I am, RIP, I'm always watching. I'm always scheming. I'm always lurking. I'm always aware. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Single thread would go under the speed of the pi. Interesting. Okay, does any of them... Yeah, we're gonna get rid of that. Interesting. I would love to get another micro... I need a new rack. Damn it, I didn't even think about that one. I'm retarded. Removes card, sees card that I need to get another Raspberry Pi rack. do that or that card. And speaking of Pi, it hasn't crashed at all yet. Monero 4 threads. It's kind of interesting. Does it have Death Touch? It does. Nope, no thank you. So like, I have a lot. I would love to build. I would love to build that game came out before you're born. Oh, I've been playing Star Wars Empire of the War, but using mods. Nice. I don't know if it came out before I was born. I'm pretty sure I played it. I would love to build just a machine just for mining, like a Threadripper, but Threadrippers are kind of expensive. God damn it. What a fucking bitch. A real fucking bitch for that one. Damn it. Opinion on beating it? I don't know what that is. Damn, don't dox yourself, JK. Yeah, that would not be doxing. Damn, I really needed that card. Oh no, this says Death Touch, fuck. Oh, okay. Beat it. I need to check that up. I need to look that up. Man, this guy's a real... He really fucked up my core card. Alright, I lost this one. Oh, Rust based. One month. Beat a net. A new hope for defeat mass internet censorship. Dev bounties open for privacy securities. Oh, nice. Interesting. Raven. Version 1.2 of BetaNet specifications have been proposed to you. You can view the proposal here. The version significantly improves the specifications and correct many of the problems. These bounties, okay. Let's go home. Privacy and security should be on by default. I agree. Powered by our wonderful sponsors. Who's that one guy in our Discord? He's like, Rust is not based. If this is written in Rust, it's based. I mean, saying that there's going to be a bunch of vulnerabilities is kind of crazy. I mean, vulnerabilities are going to exist regardless, so. Where is admin panel? Access denied. Okay, they are safe, guys. Unhackable. Let's see. But where is their GitHub?
The internet sucks now. Let's make our own. Specifications are out there, Raven.
Interesting. Let's see. Man, where's their GitHub? Oh, software. I'm retarded. All our software, free software, is designed to respect your privacy and will begin as simple as possible to use. Our free software is licensed under the BSD. Guys, it's under based SD 3-clause license. By using our software, you acknowledge and agree to the terms of service. Though, let's see. They should have picked MIT. BSD 3-clause license. Restrictions and use if source binary forms with or without modifications are permitted provided the following conditions are met. Redistributions of source code must remain the above copyright notice. This list of conditions and the following disclaimer. Redistribution in binary form must reproduce the above copyright notice. This list of conditions in the following disclaimer and documentation and/or other materials provided with the distribution. Neither the name of the copyright holder nor the names of its contributor may be used to endorse or promote products derived from this software without specific writer permission. Boo! They need to do. They should have done the do whatever you want license, the based one. Talon, a simple utility to debloat Windows. That's kind of cool. I mean, AMP, music player with focus on. I think I use this. Scratchpad is simple professional plain text editor. Poly, a terminal multiplier with tabs. Redact. File shredder with focus on civilian security. Oh, nice. I just use shred. The BD. What is it? Oh, here we go. Let's read this. BDNet is a fully decentralized, censorship-resistant network intended to replace the public internet. The revision of finalized covert transport oh man, this is really gonna fuck me up. How to pronounce what the fuck? How to pronounce this word? Man, I am retarded. I can do it. I can do it. Let's see what the internet says. Huh? Oh. I can say it. I can say it.
From life underneath.
Where computing and
No, I can do it.
Indistinguishability.
Indistinguishability. Indistinguishability. Yeah, there we go. Fuck, man. Why can't I say that word? Thanks. Indistinguishability. God, that word, man. I don't know. I'm retarded. Indistinguishabilities. Indistinguishability. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so the revision to finalize covert transport indistinguishability removes the likability vectors, specifies liveness for naming, hardens governance and bootstraps economies, and standardize the adaptive calibration. General encoding rules, multi-byte integration, integers unsigned by Big Eden. Variant quick variable length integer unless standardized by bytes, blah blah blah. Purpose primitives, cryptography, cha-cha, poly, nice, cool based, KDF, signatures, ed, don't know that. Uses Diffie-Hellman. I mean, that kind of makes sense. The thing, learn something new every day. Yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of cool. I just know about Diffie-Hellman is that you can do the knowledge of the private and public keys in public settings is irrelevant. It's kind of interesting. That's probably why it's used in a lot of like private applications where confidentiality can be public, but it can still maintain its secrecy. If I understand it correctly. Cover transport. Path maintenance, maintain up to 3 disjoint validations per. What the fuck is this? Maybe I should just watch that video.
The internet sucks now. Let's make our own. Specifications are out there. ravendevteam.org/betanet. Betanet's official specification. It's all here. Go read it up. The graph is even right here, fully explaining exactly how it works. Here's the flow. Here's the layer. You go check it out. You see developers, any developers watching this, it doesn't matter how good you are, you just have to be half decent. If you're a Rust dev, C dev, C# dev, C++, Java, Python, whatever, it doesn't matter. You see, the problem with Betanet is that it needs mass adoption to work, okay? And mass adoption isn't even on the user, it's on the developer. Developers need to adopt Betanet. Unlike Tor, unlike something else where the user needs to specifically choose to adopt it.
My only problem with I'm not. This isn't like shit talking, but I want to point out something called Freenet and I2P. I2P has been around for a very long time, and so is Freenet. Oh, God, when did I2? And their adoption isn't even close to Tor. The problem is not. I'm going to finish this, obviously. The problem is I2P's lack of adoption comes from the fact that it's harder to bundle and just hand somebody. I mean, people still really don't know how to get onto the darknet, but the darknet. And because of that, it's quite impossible. It's quite impossible to actually for people to get the adoption because they don't make the software for people to like click something and make it work. Like Tor works because all I have to do is download the fucking browser and it works. And I spin up Tor. I have no issue with the technical aspect of it and being like, all right, how do I set up I2P? It's actually not that hard, but to the average user that doesn't RTFM, that's the problem. They want something. They just want an app. They don't want to fucking learn. People don't want to learn, which that's more of like maybe a skill, like a modern skill issue that we need to address. That's a different thing to address. But the issue is no longer is it easy to do. It's not is it easy to do. The issue is no longer adoption. The issue is the fact that it's not people want to just see. They just want to be able to go to there and type in the word Tor, and it works. You know what I mean? Like that's all people want. They want to be like, I can go to my search bar, pull up Tor, and it's there, and it works. It's just not going to happen. What is the other one? This one's called Zero Tier. No, zero, BTC, blockchain, God, what the fuck's it called? Zero knowledge proof, there it is, ZeroNet. ZeroNet's been around since fucking is 6 years old. And I'll be honest, ZeroNet is not the place you want to go to. A lot of fucking schizophrenic shit on there. Not the good one. Not the good kind either. How old? Zero. I remember I came across ZeroNet. I went on there once, and I'm never going on there again for a lot of reasons. Run Zero. Yeah. Run Zero as in is that the person's name? No, his name is K0. There's a lot of really good software out there that would definitely increase people's privacy, increase people's security, like Run Zero. But people want shit to work. They want stuff that's built into the system, that's baked in, and makes it work. How old's Freenet? I mean, look at Freenet. I think it's called something else. Freenet has been around for a long time. The fuck? What is this shit? Freenet. Yeah. How old is this shit? It's old. I know it's called something else. Is there a Wikipedia for it? I know people want to cancel Wikipedia for whatever reason. But whatever. Nope, that's not it. People really are not a win. Freenet Radio. Huh. A computer system. I just want people to know that exists. There we go. Usenet, yeah. So 1990, this bitch is fucking 25 years old, and the adoption is not even close to Tor. Tor is still like I2P. H. And I've used Freenet or HypeNet or whatever. Bitch is 22 years old. I2P is old. Old as shit. And its adoption is... And it's only around 55,000 computers distributed world. 55. And that's just a guess. And I think... Apparently Runos is System D. Boo! Boo System D! Let's see if we can get some boos in the chat. I wish I had a soundboard, honestly. If there's an open source soundboard I can find, I think there is one. Yeah. I should figure out how to make a bot. I should figure out how to make a bot to every time someone mentions System D, it just yells boos. But I mean, I digress. I2P's got kind of a different technology, though. Read the description. Developers, I need your help. I made a new internet. Oh, okay. Important note, I made a new video explaining and addressing the law. Bookek. Sure.
We need to talk about BetaNet because there's a lot of misinformation about it and a lot of misunderstanding surrounding it. Which is, I mean, I'll own up to it. It's kind of my fault. In the original first video that I made that has blown up absolutely since it was first posted,
25 minutes, though? 25 minutes to explain something? I don't know if I can do that.
They didn't do a great job of delving too deep into it, to explaining what BetaNet even really is. So it seems like there's just a lot of misunderstanding. So I'm going to take this video to fully demystify everything and explain.
Okay. And I'm for the protocol thing. This is no hate. I think protocols are great. I prefer protocols. Protocols in itself are decentralized. They're more censorship resistant. They have a place. 100%. The only issue, for anyone who still have questions consider watching this video, I'll be hosting a stage on Discord server. Oh, gross. I love the idea. It's definitely a pipe dream, but then again, Linux started as a project from a lone student and is now competing with the main two. I wouldn't say Linux is competing with the main two OSs. Okay. This video helped a lot. Introduction video. Sketchy with a lot of buzzwords being thrown around. I'll admit, most of my hesitation comes to the fact this sounds like too good to be true. Certainly, that's irrelevant. Decade-proven anonymity. Tor has been compromised for a very long time. Anything that can be replaced Tor is already an improvement. Kind of. Tor's got its problems. Such as fiber, 5G, satellite, ISPs, all of which Linux isn't competing. It's already won, but it's won so fast that people didn't see it. Linux's only flex it can make is that it runs the world. I mean, because why the fuck could you run a web server on fucking Windows when Linux and FreeBSD and all these, you can make these distros in like these false operating systems. You can make them fucking quite literally small. Look how small Alpine is. Alpine's small. Why the fuck would you waste so much resources and like money on spinning up a Windows server to run Apache or Nginx? That'd be like straight retarded. Especially how expensive computing can get. You're like, oh, I mean, that's what makes Kubernetes so great, is like Kubernetes is like super resilient. And you can get, if you don't want to run K8s, you can run its, smaller companion. Mom, can we have Kubernetes cluster at home? Yeah, of course. No, we have Kubernetes clusters at home. Kubernetes clusters at home. And it is K3s. Oh, no. Like I run this in my home lab. It's super fun. I just don't like because I don't need or use traffic. You can use traffic with this, but I don't use I have no need for traffic.
In exactly what's going on in detail, and I'll still try to explain it in a way.
God, 25 minutes. I don't know.
We need to talk about BetaNet because there's a lot of misinformation about it, and
okay, how much do I have to pause before it's like stealing content? How much thought do I have to give? That's the real question. What if I just speed down to normal speed and then I pause and then go up? I hate watching anything. I hate watching anything in like normal speed because people kind of talk too slow. Not that it's good that I talk fast or anything. It talks too slow for my brain.
and a lot of misunderstanding surrounding it, which is, I mean, I'll own up to it. It's kind of my fault. In the original first video that I made that has blown up absolutely since it was first posted, I really didn't do a great job of delving too deep into it, to explaining what BetaNet even really is. So it seems like there's just a lot of misunderstanding. So I'm going to take...
It's, I mean, if it's a cool concept, my issue though is it's going to be very, in my opinion, again, no hate, it's going to be, oh my God, this person uses Windows. Hold on. There we go. That's all I needed to do. BetaNet, please fight the internet. World order. Okay. How does it handle active probing and looking up domains against IP pools? Action looks cool. Google took over the internet and now everything is harder. Really interesting in regards to future proofing. Does the protocol require return packets, say, for laser internet space? I know the current protocol. Be careful to not get some reason. Everyone thinks this. If you're retarded, then you think this. Basically, this is a new security protocol and not a new internet. A lot of people have said below, you will never be able to beat censorship or maintain privacy on the World Wide Web. You're as much as this said is in this video. The internet is a busted flash. The only way you can beat the censorship is to get better privacy about it. BetaNet kind of turned into a crypto rug pool. What's BetaNet? Oh, for real? Is that new?
Now, there's something else about BetaNet that needs to be discussed, and it's crypto, okay? I don't listen, crypto entered this conversation without me even wanting it to necessarily. I didn't start the whole crypto conversation. You see, what happened is a lot of people are confused what BetaNet is exactly. They think it is some kind of cryptocurrency BS. It's not. So the reason why crypto is even involved in this conversation to begin with is because of this bags.fm fund here. So this was created by the Slammer with a lot of R's on Twitter, right? And
BetaNet is just like a spec, nothing yet built. Oh, it's just a protocol. Good. I don't want to watch 25 minutes of that. And this isn't like to shame anybody or make them feel bad or like. Actually, I don't care about making people feel bad on the internet. Why is voting system hard to abuse?
So, as an internet successor, this is a good question I got in the comments. Would I still need a service provider to access it? Like, how would...
So, this is cool, but we already have all these protocols and all these things that are somewhat censorship resistant to how the internet works. And there's still no... Holy computer again. It's funny. There's still no fucking adoption. That's the problem. I'm gonna actually kind of moment. It's just, it's not. I don't think people realize how hard it is to make. to make the internet super censorship resistant and private. There's actually a counterproductive, a counter topic to that. Not a counter topic. There's a counter argument for this. Google is censorship resistant in a sense. It sounds crazy. A lot of countries, a lot of places rely on Google. So some app developers thought about this. They're like, if we put Firebase as the backend service or something that heavily relies on Google, it's going to be harder to block it, because if they block Google and they rely on this application, say they rely on Google services somewhere in their country, they're not going to be able to block Google, because quite literally, if they do, a lot of their shit doesn't work, thus making this app quote unquote censorship resistant, as in like it's very distributed and it's harder to censor it. There's also what was it? What was I thinking about? It was quite interesting too. Oh, encrypted hello. So we'll read this. This is actually kind of interesting. If you run Ironfox, this is already on by default. Like this kind of is, because I checked myself. And I looked into like how to set this up, but Ironfox already has this. So the big issue is you got to kind of like back up for a second. DNS. Oh god, I got to get dark mode on this bitch. My eyes. Back-to-back computer crashing again. Sorry. I know there's dark read haters in the world, but it just works. I'll probably delete this later. But it's hurting my eyes. Oh, my eyes. So, it's probably a thread issue, or it's I'm streaming this in 8K. Can you handle it? So a lot of people don't understand. They don't realize that your DNS provider gives a lot of information out there, and your ISP, even I believe with a VPN, can still know, like, even if I think if you even use Tor, they still know you're using Tor. And even with a VPN, they still know you're going to like certain websites and you're giving off like certain amount of information that could disclose to your ISP. Your ISP is kind of like the guard. It's like it knows everything you do almost down to the packet. So there's a lot of metadata and information that people leak. And it doesn't matter what they use on their internal network, is because you're kind of like it's kind of like going through your ISP like final gateway, and it's like, oh, I know where they're going. I know this correlation, stuff like that. So some people have said that encrypting your DNS traffic, like DOH or something, some like steps that you make that allow, like, makes people think that like it's actually like making their search history and everything private, when in reality it's not. And your DNS, for all you know, your internal DNS server on your like router for your ISP, they could be just defaulting. They could just ignore your request, like to use your own DNS server. Nothing prevents it, from what I understand. Nothing, like they could just uncover a lot of information about you regardless. DNS is kind of like the last puzzle piece of maybe a more private internet. This is why when you use a VPN provider, there is some argument to use the DNS provider of your VPN, and it might help mitigate it. I think Malvad does like the most decent job, and then like if you're using Graphene OS does give you the ability to know that, I mean, does give you the safety and security that there's no DNS, there's no leaking like Android has had in the past. Now watching on the phone because the computer basically instantly crashes upon loading your stream. My stream's too powerful. Remember to open up 18 tabs so it looks like I'm very popular. Like, share, and subscribe. So this post is available on blank and blank, whatever. Today we're excited to announce a contribution to improve privacy for everyone on the internet, Encrypted Client. Hello. A new proposed standard that prevents networks from snooping on which websites users are visiting. Now available on all Cloudflare plans. Encrypted Client Hello, ECH, is the successor to ESNI and masks the server name indication, SNI, that is used to negotiate the TLSA handshake. This means that whatever user visits a website on Cloudflare that has ECH enabled, no one except for the user and Cloudflare and the website owner will be able to determine which website was visited. Cloudflare is a big proponent of privacy for everyone and excited about the prospect of being technology to life. Now, I do agree that you are now giving a lot of information and a lot of control to Cloudflare. If this became an open standard where it was adopted and Cloudflare could possibly be removed from this entire equation, then maybe it's less of an issue. But you have to understand that only you, maybe it's a technology thing where they have to know, like someone has to know where you're going and they are aware of where you're going. But I would rather a company that possibly has privacy in mind to be able to, whatever, they see that I go to, Pornhub or Facebook.com, et cetera, maybe it's not their business, maybe they clear their logs, maybe they don't care. Your ISP definitely takes that information and tries to sell it, sells you certain advertisements. Maybe they might even find what your website you're going to illegal in their mind, and maybe it's actually a crime now or whatever, or maybe they'll cut their service from you, their TOS, et cetera, et cetera. Now, again, VPNs can only do so much for you because you still leave a ton of identifiable information. Your screen resolution, your MAC address, the operating system you use, the browser you use, your geolocation, your IP address is a part of it. The way you type, all these things factor into like a unique profile, and these unique profiles allow you to be trackable. That's why, VPNs are like one piece of the puzzle. DNS is a huge part of the puzzle, but it's still one piece. So browsing the internet and your privacy, whenever you visit a website, your browser sends a request to the web server. And this is actually like a real quick side though. Very simple thing to understand. When you go to a website, it's end-to-end encrypted already. The TLS handshake, that's why it's like, I don't think it's called SSL anymore. I think it's TLS now, I believe. I think SSL is nice dream based, Rust, but bust, see ya. See you later, Billy. Appreciate you stopping by. So having SSL and TLS just prevents someone from being able to come into the middle of that conversation when I'm having a conversation with somebody, aka putting my password into XYZ or credentials. It's encrypted. No one can snoop on that and see those things. That's just something to keep in mind. That's all it is. VPN's encrypting your traffic. It's already encrypted, so it's kind of like a shitty marketing tactic, but they do try to fearmonger. A lot of these companies try to fearmonger people into thinking like this is like going to be the bulletproof solution. It's not. Just FYI. So whenever you visit a website, your browser sends a request to a web server. The web server responds with content, and the website starts loading in your browser. Way back in the early days of the internet, this happened in plain text, meaning that the browser, you would just send bits across the network that everyone could read. The corporate network you may be browsing from, the internet service provider browsing that offers you internet connection, and any network that requests traverses before it reaches the web server, the host, and the website. Privacy advocates have long been concerned about how much information that can be seen in quote-unquote plain text. If the network between you and the web server can see the traffic, that means they can also see exactly what you're doing. If you're interested in banking transfer, any intermediate can then see the destination and the amount of the transfer. That's something to keep in mind. So now it starts making To prevent eavesdropping, encryption was introduced with form of SSL and later TLS, so I was right. And these are amazing protocols that safeguard not only your privacy, but they also ensure that no one is immediately can tamper with the content you view or upload. But the encryption only goes so far. What the actual content, which particular page on a website that you're visiting or information you upload is encrypted and shields from intermediaries. But there's still ways to determine what a user is doing. For example, the DNS requests determine the IP address of the website you're visiting, and the SNI are both common ways for intermediaries to track usage. Let's start with DNS. Whenever you visit a website operating a system that needs to know which IP address to connect to, this is done through DNS, which is the domain name system. DNS by default is unencrypted, meaning that anyone can see which websites you're asking about. To help users shield this request from the intermediaries, Cloudflare introduced DNS over HTTPS, DOH. In 2019 and 2020, we went one step further and introduced oblivious DNS over HTTPS, which prevents even Cloudflare from seeing which websites you are using. Kind of based. Something to think about. This leaves SNI as the last unencrypted bit in the intermediaries and can be used to determine which websites you are visiting. After performing a DNS query, one of the first things a browser will do is perform a TLS handshake. The handshake constitutes several steps, which include the cipher to use, which TLS version, and which certificate will be used to verify the website's identity. As part of this handshake, the browser will indicate the name of the server website and its intention to visit, the server name indication. Due to the fact that the session is not encrypted yet, the server doesn't know which certificate to use. The browser must transmit this information in plain text. Sending the SNI in plain text means that any intermediary can view which website you're visiting simply by checking the first packet of the connection. Massive. Just massive. Think about that. So all these steps, and it's like, it can still be kind of like uncovered. This is where ECH pretty much comes in. In order to explain ECH works, it helps to first understand how TLS handshakes are performed. A TLS handshake starts with the client hello part, which allows a client to say which ciphers use which TLS version, and most importantly, which server is trying to visit. With ECH, the client hello message part is split into two separate messages, an inner part and an outer part. The outer part contains the non-sensitive information such as which ciphers to use in the TLS version. It also includes the outer SNI. The inner part is encrypted and contains the inner SNI, which is the sensitive part. The outer SNI is a common name that in our case represents the user is trying to visit an encrypted website on Cloudflare. We choose Cloudflare -ech.com as the SNI. That all websites will share the Cloudflare, be shared on Cloudflare. Because Cloudflare controls that domain, we have the appropriate certificates to be able to negotiate TLS handshakes for that server name. Again, I understand there might be some concerns that like Cloudflare has this much control, but if it's encrypted and it's they have no information, they're like, I don't know, then it's awesome. And then it's pretty much client, hello outer, boom, 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 boom. But pretty much it's the easiest way to explain it is they found a way to kind of make all these handshakes encrypted and more private. But it's still very new. It's still very testing. I don't use IronFox a ton. I may start using it more. But my problem with IronFox is I don't really like Firefox, to be honest. I don't like Firefox, but IronFox kind of is the exception, I guess. I use Cloudflare many times. To bypass government blockage, the DNS. Yeah, I think Cloudflare is fine. I think people have a hate towards Cloudflare, and I get it. Is because of one thing: they have a lot of control. Like, they control a lot of the internet. They have a lot of say. They're huge. They have privacy policies they can change. They can change their policies at any time. The good thing, here's the thing about protocols. Protocols can't change policies. Companies can. If no one owns the protocol, you can't change anything about it if it does what it's supposed to do. So let's say we hypothetically made a DNS server that quite literally, say we made a protocol that is, yeah, it's massive. They're massive. Again, I'm no hate towards Cloudflare. I think Cloudflare does a lot of good. I think they care about privacy to a certain degree. I think they care about security to a certain degree. I think they care about a free internet. But what I don't like is they're a company at the end of the day, and they have policies. Policies can change. Protocols can't. Protocols are kind of like written. If nobody owns the protocol, this is why I like Nostr. If nobody owns the protocol, then it doesn't fucking matter. If it doesn't matter, as long because you can't own a protocol. You know what I mean? If Cloudflare writes this in a way that it is a protocol, the encrypted client hello, then 100% I have no issue with this. If they make it open source and it can be audited from people that care about privacy and be like, hey, this is kind of cool. This is how it works. And this protocol is just based on the fact that it's going to work a certain way and it has actually no ownership. We're just starting the development of it. Then I have no problem. But the main problem I have is at the end of the day, Cloudflare is a company. Companies will not fall on swords for you. They will not bend the knee for you. They'll bend the knee to the government, and they'll bend the knee to world organizations, and they'll bend the knee for money because they're a company. They need to be profitable at the end of the day. And again, just like I said, protocols can't change, policies can change. They could change their policy tomorrow and say, you know what, everything that you send through Cloudflare, encrypted or not, we can see it, and we don't care. We're going to report that you downloaded Big Mommy Milkers made by Sony in 2017, and we're gonna arrest you now, or we're gonna put a fine on you, or we're gonna blacklist you from the internet. And I don't think Cloudflare is going to do that. But nothing prevents them from doing that, and that's the problem. Not only the reason I like here's a perfect example. Blue Sky, a quote-unquote protocol, is blocking and kneeling to government ID mandates. They are blocking, and they're taking their knee, shoving into the ground, and being like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna listen to you. That is not a protocol at the end of the day. That is a company that owns a protocol. That is a company that is willing to bend the knee. Again, they're a company at the end of the day. They want to be as profitable as possible. I get it. So it's not like Nostr, where Nostr is a protocol and they can't be censored. It's quite literally and fundamentally not owned by anyone. It's not a free speech advocate type of protocol. It doesn't have any political idea or affiliation. It just fucking works. And because of that, anyone can easily and inexpensively run their own relay. It makes it very easy to get into the space, while the ATP is not easy, not inexpensive, and that protocol, if it is for whatever reason censorship not resistant, aka it hasn't been battle tested, etc., then quite literally it is worthless, and people should reject that platform if they want a censorless type of protocol or type of internet in general. You know, that's my soapbox rant. But again, I have no issue with Cloudflare. I get why people are, upset at them though. Ooh, not letting you have that one. I'll even say video games. Video games are not decentralized, and they're not generally open source, and they ask for a lot of information, and a lot of them are getting kernel level access. I'm not a fan of that. And it's getting harder and harder every year for me to play games. I mean, like, this game is like more of like a web browser game at the end of the day. So I'm like, whatever. but I do like Cloudflare. I remember when Portmaster was trying to make their... Portmaster got bought out, though, which kind of sucked, but I liked Portmaster. Now, I've been saying, like, X, like, awful platform. But a good example is I use Yellow Ball for my my podcast hosting, and they gave me an RSS feed, and this is on Podcast 2.0, and I have all ownership, and it's completely decentralized. Like, I can take my podcast anywhere. I have all the the logs. I have all the copies. I have everything I need. Nice. I live. Damn. Why don't you take... Oh, yeah. W move. Oh no, the damage. That was good. Good move. Oh, okay. Interesting. Nice. Okay. Damn. That's AIDS. Motherfucker has a 4. Bro. You want to be something that kills him? I'm gonna see you, bud. Later, bro. Appreciate you stopping by. Damn. Come on, man.
So long as we fight, hope our race.
No. Oh, he's got trample anyways. And it's over. Never mind. I won.